Hello, Forest Hill Stadium. My name is Stephanie Pacheco. I'm from the South Bronx. I have the pleasure of being your 8th U.S. National Youth Poet Laureate. And as we march into this new city together, it is my honor to present to you all a poem commemorating my neighborhood and our city the way that we must always remember it. All right. And poetry is interactive, so keep snapping and clapping and cheering. We have a beautiful future that we're about to step into. All right. Field trips called for a walk to the bodega the morning of, demanded a bacon, egg, and cheese of my $5, said we gon' eat before we go to the Bronx Zoo, always on the D train, always on Wednesdays, always free entry. The train was us hood kids' magic vessel into Wonderland. We made steel poles our enchanted forest, wished upon the stars of its lights, and tapped our feet to the sound of the underground roar. We say the most Bronx trip you could attend was the Bronx Zoo, was the one that was cheapest for the school budget, was the one that all of our mommies could afford, was the other place where caged beings live. Say the mark of nativity is watching other things in capture, is being a witness to the cage, is celebrating the fact that at least we voyage together. Say we dream of home too. I say I'm from New York, and I mean, I've been going to the same braiding shop on Fordham since I was 11. I found the rhythm of fingers twirling my hair into soil and blossom and named it my favorite beat. I say I'm from New York, and I mean, I recite Hey Ma by Cameron and Dile al Amor by Aventura in my sleep. I mean, I dream of song. These be the gospel tunes that made black aunties and tias jump up in praise. I mean, La Pompa, the fire hydrant, was our baptism, and these streets are my church. I say, I began to count the pigeons, how they became holy in my chest too. You black-winged angel, you remind us all of flight. I mean, we dance to anything. The no music clap applies to all situations. It fills the void of disremembering. I say light feet, and we stomp hard, and we don't stay still. I say I'm from New York, and I mean, my high school didn't have a gym, or an auditorium, or a first week ritual that didn't involve a memorial. I mean, they keep trying to shut down my library to build a precinct in its place. I mean, I learned my poverty by learning other people's wealth. I say underfunded. I say we hungry. I say I am song. I say concrete palace. I say our mothers built this. I say my people are buried here, so it must be mine. I say I hold these bodies like the ground does, and I mean, I'm gonna make it home, mama. I mean, this city won't swallow me. I mean, this country can't pick me from its teeth. I mean, billionaires better make room for us. I mean, we gon' eat before we go. I mean, we coming. I mean, we here. I mean, if these city lights are our stars, then we not too far from them at all. I mean, if the pigeons can fly, then we can too. I say we black and brown and poor and trans and queer. We're eternal. We build, so we burn. It is cultural practice to refuse to die. Thank you.
What's up, Forest Hill Stadium? How you guys doing tonight? I can't hear you. What's up, Queens? How you guys doing tonight? On the left, how y'all doing tonight? On the right, how y'all doing tonight? In the back, how y'all doing tonight? Hey guys, what's up? My name is Sarah Sherman, and I'm a comedian. Oh, stop. No, stop cheering for me. I'm just a comedian on a show that films in New York City late Saturday night and early into Sunday morning, but stop. Oh, I couldn't possibly.
You guys are amazing for being here. It's cold, but the energy is warm. Wouldn't you agree? And I'm here not to just get huge applause from you guys and pose for pictures.
Thank you. Get my good side. Thank you. Get my good side. I'm here because I'm a New Yorker who pays rent in this city. And don't make me say it. I think the rent is too damn what? Make a lot of noise. Make some noise if your rent is too high. Make some noise if your apartment is the size of your toilet and 2 chairs stacked on top of each other. Make some noise instead of fixing the problems in your apartment, your landlord just paints over them. Make some noise if you're a millionaire and you want to pay my rent for a year. Okay, we got boo. Okay, so I'm getting a sugar daddy tonight. But you guys are amazing for being here. We have an amazing show tonight, and I'm so excited to be here to support the only candidate who actually wants to make the cost of living in this city actually affordable. The cost of rent is too high, and so is the cost of everything else, and everybody's so excited to be here. And did I forget anything else important I'm going to say? No, I'm just excited to be supporting Zohran Mamdani for mayor. I'm going to be your MC tonight, so get used to seeing my ugly, sweaty ass. And I'm excited to be supporting a candidate who wants to make the city more affordable, and he's the only candidate who doesn't seem to be sweating all the time.
So, are you guys ready for an amazing show? You can't even believe it! Thanks for coming. Stick around. I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Have fun.
This is what it actually looks like. Showing up day after day after day and making it clear that the fight that management is picking is not just with the workers of this one company. It's with this city at large, where workers do not have to beg for what they deserve.
Here, Zohran was with us on the picket line from day one. We won the best contract we've ever gotten.
We aren't alone. Zohran saw this struggle and he partnered up with my union, and because of this organized effort, we were able to secure the largest debt relief in New York City's history.
Taking on a belief that they can outlast your solidarity with their lives.
Having a union job, with food on the table, a roof over your head.
These are members volunteering their time.
He really understands the needs of the working class.
We also are fighting for a city where New Yorkers can rest. You know, when I think about who won the weekend, it's organized labor.
I believe every New Yorker deserves a life of dignity, safety, and stability, and that it's city government's job to deliver that. Freeze the rent! Freeze the rent! Freeze the rent! Freeze the rent!
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, better getting by. So taking and no giving, they just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough that
Hello, everyone. My name is Arturo Navarro Tresero. For 45 years, mi abuela was a member of 32BJ, cleaning the floors of Midtown office buildings. And now, thanks to my CUNY education, I teach sociology at Kingsborough Community College, CUNY, Brooklyn's only community college. For 4 years, I have been a member of PSC CUNY, the union representing 30,000 faculty and staff. Through my role as a student mentor to students and a member of union committees, I have seen firsthand that fighting together, our members change the lives of students and workers together. We have spent years fighting Trump's puppet Andrew Cuomo, who starved CUNY of resources and jacked up tuition for working class students. Now, we are facing extreme repression. Members have even been investigated, and some have lost their jobs for speaking up for Palestine. We fought Cuomo then, and we will fight these attacks now, together. So our union is fighting to elect CUNY champion Zohran Mamdani to be the next mayor, who will fight against Trump and who is fighting to build the people's university that New Yorkers deserve.
What's up, New York? Are we ready to elect Zohran Mamdani? If you're ready to elect Zohran Mamdani, make some noise! All right, my name's Clarissa Baines. I am a non-security officer at a major commercial building in Midtown Manhattan, and I'm organizing to win the union with 32BJ. 32! 32! 32! 32! Now, did you know that our city has 82,000 low-wage security officers? Did you know that the average officer makes $40,000 a year? $40,000 a year? That's poverty wages. Poverty. And almost 40% of us do not have health insurance. Whoa! I had a few health problems over the years, and each time I have to pay out of my pocket. It's no good. But I'm here to let you all know that we are fed up. But we have big plans. Later this week, we'll be at City Hall, fighting for legislation to set wage, benefits, training standards for all security officers in New York City. So that bill is named after our New York City hero, Mr. Alada Etienne. May he rest in peace. Our fallen security officer who gave his life while protecting others during a mass shooting in Midtown Manhattan. May he rest in peace. And in my workplace, I'm organizing 32BJ and my coworkers to organize a union, not only in my building, but for all 30 buildings serviced by my employer. So thank you, Zohran Mamdani, standing with Alad's family. And when tragedy struck, our security officers in our fight, we got your back.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Graff. I'm an emergency medicine resident physician at Kings County Hospital, a proud member of CIR-SEIU. Every day in the ER, I see patients that come in with preventable, serious medical illness, metastatic cancer, and a patient who may have been diagnosed early if they had access to primary care. Dehydration due to diabetes in a patient who was rationing his medications and fasting during an insurance gap. A mother with a complex neurologic problem that had to prematurely end her hospital stay because she couldn't get childcare. This affordability crisis is literally killing my patients. It is so demoralizing to feel like I've done everything that I possibly can for my patients, but when they leave the walls of the hospital, it will have no impact on their long-term health because they cannot afford the things they need to live. The billionaire class is gutting the social safety net to line their own pockets. This is going to disproportionately affect working class community of color, and it's a tool of structural racism. That is why we must build a healthcare system that is for people and not profit. And that is part and parcel to electing Zohran Mamdani as mayor to build a city that we can all afford. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow New Yorkers. My name is Debbie Feuerman. I'm a social worker at a community mental health center at Maimonides Hospital in Brooklyn. And I'm a proud member and a delegate of 1199 SEIU Union. At our last contract negotiations, I helped organize my fellow union members to show up at the table, and we won significant raises, as well as extra pay for social workers who speak a second language. So thank you to my fellow union siblings and my organizers. Are there any union members and social workers in the house? At Maimonides, I provide therapy for individuals with mental illness. Zohran's proposal for a Department of Community Safety can help address the increasing mental health crisis across this city. The police are not trained to work with people experiencing a mental health emergency. We have to keep everyone in our community safe, including the people experiencing a mental health crisis. Right? And I've learned as a social worker, individuals living with severe and serious mental illness like schizophrenia, they deserve and need empathy, connection to long-term housing and social services. So, most of the people that we serve at Maimonides depend on Medicaid for care. So the mental health crisis is only going to get worse after the federal Medicaid cuts kick in if we do not act. And I'm proud to say, and if it matters, I happen to be Jewish. And yesterday, I proudly cast my vote for Zohran Mamdani to help us address these issues. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. My name is Jazib Udine. I'm a member of the United Auto Workers, or the UAW. Thank you. I'm also a postdoctoral researcher at Weill Cornell Medicine. So my day job or my research focuses on understanding the impact of the immune cells in our gut and how they can be harnessed to develop new therapies that can improve patients' quality of life. However, for the past 2 years, my fellow coworkers, my fellow postdocs and I, alongside the UAW, have also been working to get protections, to fight for protections for the international members of our community, and also to demand solutions for the affordability crisis that's plaguing all of us. And we're currently at a place where we might go on strike this week to get the fair contract we need and deserve. Our fight has only grown more urgent this year as the federal government attempts to slash funding for research institutions while simultaneously attacking the international members of our community. I've personally felt these cuts. My job depends on receiving these federal grants, and every single time a threat is made, I'm left feeling uncertain whether I'll receive my next paycheck or whether I'll have the resources to do the critical research that I love. And this is why it is so exciting to have a mayoral candidate like Zohran Mamdani. A person who we know will fight to address the affordability crisis we are all facing. A person who will defend the rights for all immigrant members of our community. And a fellow New Yorker who will stand up with us against this federal administration to protect our city. The UAW was the first union to endorse Zohran. And if it is necessary to go on the picket lines, we know Zohran will have our back, just like he has in the past. Thank you, everybody, and please remember to go out and vote.
Hi, everyone. First, I want to give some love to people who canvassed today. Let me hear you if you canvassed today. And shout out to my group in Chinatown at noon today. Now, I want to hear you if you are a city worker. City workers. Hey, in the house. And now, lastly, make some noise if you are an artist or an art worker. Hey! My people. My name is June Lei. For 6 years, I've been a member of District Council 37, the union that represents 150,000 workers who run the city where I was born and raised by two working artists. I am the secretary of Local 1502 at the Brooklyn Museum, where I produce public programs like the beloved free flagship series First Saturdays. Thank you. This spring, our museum's management attempted to lay off 40 union workers. A reckless reduction in force that would have cut jobs, exhibitions, and programs, all while preserving six-figure salaries for executives. The union strongly opposed. Alongside our sister unit, UAW 2110, we organized rallies and testified to City Council, who pledged us $2.5 million. With this funding, we saved our jobs. We protected our collections and our visitors, artists, musicians, writers, students, and children from Brooklyn and beyond. What I learned, no one but us will save us. Executives will cut hours for educators and safety protocols for art handlers just to hold on to their own power. No more of this. No more. With a new mayor as our ally, we together protect each other. We organize. We unionize. We are the art workers that make New York City a place where everyone can afford to dream and afford to create. It is our future to win. Thank you.
Hi, how's everyone doing tonight? Hello. My name is Kai Fritz. I'm a Starbucks barista proud union member and New Yorker, and I'm here today because I know that New York is not for sale. And I want to live in a New York for workers, not for corporations. Starbucks and its CEO, Brian Niccol, are the embodiment of corporate greed and oligarchy. Niccol was paid $96 million last year for just 120 days of work. That is 6,666 times what a barista like me makes. His wealth comes at the expense of workers like me, our health care, our rent, our grocery bills. This is a broken system, but we are fighting back, and we are fighting to win. Starbucks Workers United is one of the fastest growing union movements of this century. Over 12,000 of my union siblings have organized and inspired workers all over the world, and we are not backing down. Our fight for a fair contract is part of a larger struggle for dignity, for justice, and for an economy that works for all of us. Not greedy corporations, not billionaires, not oligarchs, for all of us. We know Zohran has our back and will be with us on the picket line if we strike, and we need all of you to join us too. No contract, no coffee. Zohran's fight is our fight. Workers need a mayor who will take on corporate greed and make the city truly affordable for all New Yorkers, and that is why I am proud to vote for Zohran on November 4th. Thank you.
Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Yes, sir. My name is Curtis Bodie. I'm a proud resident of the Bronx, and most importantly, a proud union member of the Hotel, Gaming, and Trade Council, HTC. My union and I have fought tooth and nail to win the best wages, benefits for hospitality workers. And because of our contract, we was able to thrive through the hardest times. When the pandemic hit and tourism collapsed, my brothers and sisters and I had a lifeline. That contract is set to expire this July. And everything we work to do from now until this summer is to make sure we are ready to demand the wages, benefits, and protection we deserve. This fight will decide the future of 3,000 workers and their families for the next decade. And with so much on the line, we need a mayor to stand with us, not sell us out. That's why I'm proud to stand with my union and supporting Zohran Mamdani for mayor. Whether it's holding hotels accountable to keep workers safe and pushing back where Airbnb is spending millions of dollars to take our homes and our jobs. Our union will make sure we never go into battle against a bully alone. And Zohran knows what it's like to take on bullies. Donald Trump. We've seen him go up against the big guys with all the money, all the power, and all the insiders and win. That's the type of ally we need in City Hall to stand side by side with us when we're on the picket lines and behind closed doors. I know New Yorkers can count on Zohran. Now let us show him we can count on him and vote next Tuesday for Zohran Mamdani for mayor.
Please put your hands together for a visionary leader and fighter for workers everywhere, SEIU President April Verrett.
No contract. No contract. And I got to do this for the home team. SE. 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 32. 11. Y'all got it. What up, fam? What up, New
energy. As you all heard, I am indeed April Verrett, the extremely proud president of the 2 million member Service Employees International Union. And I've been trying to get here, and finally y'all called. I was like, I'm coming. I had to be here tonight because when working people anywhere show up for a fight, SEIU gon' damn show up for the fight, am I right? And make absolutely no mistake about it, working families across New York City are in the fight for your lives. Pick any issue and it's abundantly clear. Housing, healthcare, childcare, fair wages. Working families are being crushed. I don't have to tell you, you live it. But here is what gives me hope. Here's why I had to be with you tonight. Zohran Mamdani, damn it, I knew I was going to do that. Zohran Mamdani gives me hope. He gives me hope because he knows how to fight, and he doesn't just fight, he wins. And that is why in just 9 days, not only is he going to win, we are all going to win when we make him the next mayor of New York City. And you all know far better than I, there's a lot to love about our dear brother Zohran. But one of the things that I love about him, he is not just a fighter, he is a believer. He believes in people. He believes that every New Yorker deserves dignity, opportunity, and the chance to lead and live a life of dignity and respect. When working people are backed into a corner, he does not look away. He doesn't look away, he looks for a way through. He's the kind of leader who listens when others dismiss us. He's the kind of leader who shows up even most of the time when others are uncomfortable. He's the one who's going to stand with the people until victory is won. And he knows that the cost of living is crushing working people in this city. But here's what makes him different. He doesn't throw his hands up and say, oh, that's just the way it is. He believes something radical. He believes that government can actually work for us. Not just for greedy billionaires, not just for developers, not just for hedge fund managers. He believes it is the people who make this city run, and it is the people who should share in the prosperity of this city. And another reason that I crush on our boy Z, somebody say, oh, you could just call him Z. Another reason that I crush on Z is because he carries a superpower. He carries radical imagination. Radical imagination. That is the courage to believe that better is possible. And not just believe it, but have the discipline to organize until you make it real. And here's why I get to crush on all y'all too. Because he's not the only one with that power. You got it too. It is our inheritance, radical imagination is. It is the force that carry people through every single crisis, every struggle, every fight for freedom. Radical imagination is what led enslaved Africans to dream of liberation when they never knew freedom. Radical imagination is what moved women to demand the right to vote in a world that told them to stay silent. Radical imagination is what drives workers to strike, to organize, to say no coffee, no contract, to organize security officers. Radical imagination is our power, it's our legacy, it's our inheritance, and it's ours to make our dreams come true. It's that same power, that same unstoppable force that is alive in this auditorium tonight. Can you feel it? Can you feel your power? Family, Our charge in this moment is to remember that power has always has rested with the people. And when we organize, we make history. And history does not happen by osmosis, family. It takes work. It takes discipline. And it certainly takes love. It takes love. It takes love for each other. It takes love for your city. That is why, y'all, you got 9 days. 9 days to knock every door, 9 days to make every call, 9 days to bring every last voter into this movement. So when you leave this rally, get your phones out, text your friends, call your coworkers, get on that family thread, hell, call that ex. Yep, I mean it, call that ex, because this moment is too important for you not to. And I'll close with this. Zohran Mamdani will be the kind of mayor that wakes up every morning and works his heart out for you. He will work his heart out for better jobs, for fair pay, for better educational opportunities, for affordable housing, for better health care, for quality and affordability, and the protection of our rights and of our democracy. That's leadership, New York. That's the future we can build together. Let's finish strong. Let's go get it.
Thank you, President Barrett. Keep it going for President Barrett. And keep it going for all the workers fighting for better wages and democracy in the workplace. Make some noise if you're a worker. I am also a worker, so please cast me. I will do full frontal. No, please get your minds out of the gutter. I'm also in a union. I am in the Screen Actors Guild Union. Brag alert. Make some noise if you are in a union. Make some noise if you want to be in a union. That's right. Zohran Mamdani is the only candidate running for mayor of New York City that actually cares about workers and unions. So make a lot of noise for that. Make some noise if you're never going to get tired of making some noise today. Workers rock. Stick around. There's a cool video. I'll be back. Bye. Let's see, where is this?
So much, I think, what you encounter in terms of canvassing is not even people being hostile to a candidate. It's that people are really, really reticent to put trust in politicians. And I think that canvassing is an opportunity to try to build that trust.
Canvas launches that continued in the pouring rain. Strangers who care about those they will never meet. Climbing floor after floor of the 6th floor walk-up. In the rain, in the sun, in the snow.
This, for many of you, is the first time that you've gotten involved in politics. First time that you've actually thought, maybe I need to go out on this dreary Sunday evening. No, you came to be surrounded by other folks who are just as energized as you are.
All we need is someone with the will and the strength and character to fight for us.
People really believe in this man. And I kind of do too. I don't kind of, I do.
Dreaming demands solidarity. When I look out at this room and out onto the midnight skyline, that is what I see.
Our socialists in office from the Democratic Socialists of America. Senator Julia Salazar, Assembly members Claire Valdez, Marcella Matenis, Sarah Hannah Strethsha, and Emily Gallagher, and City Council members Alexa Aviles and Tiffany Caban.
Good evening, everyone. I am New York State Senator Julia Salazar. In 2018, I became the first Democratic Socialist elected to our state legislature in nearly a century. Before that election, I was an everyday New Yorker, like many of you, organizing with my neighbors to demand better from our elected officials. But rising costs and skyrocketing rents were making it harder and harder for working people to stay in our neighborhoods. And fellow DSA members told me that I couldn't stay on the sidelines. So we launched a long shot campaign that year for state senate with a promise to fight for everything that working class people deserve. The odds were against us. My opponent had held elected office for 26 years, and he was part of a political dynasty backed by wealthy donors and corporate real estate. We were a scrappy grassroots campaign. Does that sound familiar? But in 2018, we won because we had the power of the people on our side. The establishment didn't take me seriously. They thought our democratic socialist agenda was too radical. It was too radical to win. But together, we proved them wrong. And that's right. And we were just getting started. We came right back for more. In 2020, we elected another 5 Democratic Socialists to the state legislature, including a guy you may have heard of named Zohran Mamdani to the state assembly. But we didn't even stop there. The following year brought the victories of Democratic Socialist Alexa Aviles and Tiffany Caban to the city council. And you know we couldn't stop there. So we kept going and we elected Kristen Gonzalez to the state senate and Assemblywoman Claire Valdez. And now we are on the verge of electing Zohran Mamdani to become our Democratic Socialist mayor right here in the largest, greatest city in the country. This incredible campaign demonstrates that we not only have the people on our side, but our movement has grown. Is it radical to demand that billionaires finally pay their fair share of taxes? No. Is it radical to fight to abolish ICE? No. Is it radical to believe that every family in New York should be able to afford childcare? These are the demands we must make to build the future we dream of into a reality. New York City, are we ready to elect Zohran Mamdani as our next mayor? Are we ready? Are we ready to tax the rich, to fund universal child care, and make our city's buses fast and free? Zohran's vision for New York is one that is affordable and dignified for everyone. Families won't have to choose between childcare and paying the rent, where our neighbors aren't punished for speaking out against a genocide in Palestine. On November 4th, We will remind the elite once again that we have the people power, and we will give Zohran the mandate he needs to lead our city. And after we secure this election day victory, you can continue to build with us by joining DSA. Thank you all for being in this movement with me. It is now my deep honor to introduce my colleague and comrade, Assemblymember Claire Valdez.
Okay, hello, hi Queens. 6 years ago, I joined DSA because I saw power in our movement. I saw organizers like Julia Salazar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez take on political dynasties and big money and win. And I wanted to be a part of it. And I wasn't alone. I'm standing here with so many of our electeds that we've managed to get across the finish line against incredible odds over the years. One of them, not on stage yet, Zohran Mamdani. And it never would have occurred to me 6 years ago that we would be here, that we would be days away from electing our colleague, our friend, Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic Socialist mayor of New York City. But here's the thing, Zohran didn't come out of nowhere. He came out of our movement. Our movement that has been fighting for workers and tenants and immigrants and our trans siblings. Our movement that believes in the richest city and the richest country that this world has ever seen. No one should go without housing and health care. And of course, you know, that's exactly what the billionaires are afraid of. They're afraid of our movement. And that's why Bill Ackman and Whitney Tilson and Michael Bloomberg have spent millions of dollars in this race to sow fear and hatred and racist AI slop. Because they think if they can set enough money on fire, they'll win. But I think we know the truth, that New York is not for sale. But friends, our work is not done, and unfortunately it's not even done on November 5th. Ours is a lifetime commitment to fighting racism, to fighting billionaires, to fighting fascism. And if you are here tonight, and if you have been knocking on doors with us, you are part of that movement. And so I'm going to make the same ask that my friend just made. Will you take the step I took 6 years ago and join DSA? We're taking down names. A couple more questions for you before I go. Will you hit the doors to elect Zohran Mamdani? Are you ready to organize, to freeze the rent, make the buses fast and free, win universal childcare, and tax the rich? And to quote another famous socialist mayor, Bernie Sanders, are you ready to fight for someone you don't know? Hell yeah. Let's win this, Queen. Solidarity forever.
You know him. You love him. Please give it up for New York City Comptroller Brad Landner.
Good evening, New York City! I'm Brad Lander, the New York City Controller, also known as your second choice in the primary. That primary gave me a front row seat to see this powerful coalition that Zohran is building and then to become part of it. Watching Zohran up close, I got to see how hungry New Yorkers are for a city they can afford, where everyone is welcome, and with a leader who inspires us. So, when the opportunity to cross-endorse arrived, I knew just what to do. For starters, we had to send that corrupt, abusive bully Andrew Cuomo back to the suburbs. I said it on election night, and I can't wait to say it again next Tuesday. Good fucking riddance! But our cross-endorsement was more than ranked choice math. It also showed the possibility of solidarity. Politics does not have to be the sour, selfish ego trip of Cuomo or Adams or Trump. Politics can be a team sport for building the New York of our dreams. That's what Zohran is building. And that's what all of us are building. So I want to start by asking, how many of you, like me, are Jews for Zohran? Now, you might not think it from the press, but you could hear it here. Zohran's coalition includes hundreds of thousands of Jewish New Yorkers. We see in this campaign a way to fulfill Jewish values like B'Tselem Elohim, that everyone is created in God's image, or Ve'ahavta et Hager, that we're commanded to welcome refugees. On primary night, Zohran made a commitment to reach out to people who disagree with him. And since then, I have seen him keep that promise in dozens of meetings with rabbis and Jewish leaders, in house parties, in synagogues, at town halls, at Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur services. In each one, Zohran listened intently to people's hopes and also to their fears, including all too real experiences of anti-Semitism. With patience, with compassion, and with a plan, he has made it crystal clear Zohran will work to keep Jewish New Yorkers and all New Yorkers safe. Now, how many of you are Muslims for Zohran? Assalamu alaikum. I want to speak to you as a Jewish New Yorker because this race, especially in the last few days, has seen outrageous Islamophobia. For shame. Shame on you, J.D. Vance, and shame on you, Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo and his billionaire donors have sought to exploit both anti-Semitism and Islamophobia for his political gain. It's gross, and we won't stand for it. Jews and Muslims will not be divided against each other. Our safety, our freedom, our thriving is bound up together. And that's true in New York City, and it is also true in Israel and Palestine. Israelis will not be free and safe until Palestinians are free and safe. And that's why, even though this is a municipal election, we demand the end to the genocide in Gaza. I am so thrilled that the hostages are home. I met many of their families, many of them. Now the ceasefire must be honored, and aid must flow in, and a path to Palestinian freedom and peace must be found. We might see different ways of getting there, but we won't compromise anyone's humanity. And that includes immigrants coming to our city, fleeing violence and war and poverty. This spring, in June, when I was arrested at 26 Federal Plaza trying to accompany Edgardo, Zohran was the first mayoral candidate to show up and demand my release. I've been back every week since. This past Thursday, I was there for the detention of a 16-year-old high school student named Joel. For shame, shame. And I went back to get arrested in civil disobedience again last month, along with a lot of you. We will fight Donald Trump by showing up for our neighbors at 26 Federal Plaza or anywhere else he tries to come for them. We will fight Donald Trump by standing with our Attorney General, Tish James. We will fight Donald Trump by saying good riddance to his puppet, Andrew Cuomo. And we will fight Donald Trump when we show up in historic numbers with our neighbors, with our friends, with our families, to reject his politics of corruption and billionaire rule and elect Zohran Mamdani, the next mayor of New York City. Because it's not Donald Trump versus Zohran Mamdani. It's Donald Trump versus New York City. With Zohran as our mayor, we'll show the world that we know what it means to wake up every day with that copper-plated statue in the harbor, reminding us what it means to be New Yorkers. And that work won't stop at the boundaries of the 5 boroughs. We'll take that fight to Albany to win the resources working people deserve. And we'll take that fight to the halls of Congress, where it's more important than ever that we have leaders who understand this moment and who will be partners to Zohran. Finally, the New York of our dreams won't build itself. We will build it together. So, let me see again. Where are the Jews for Zohran? The Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, people who aren't religious, blacks, Latinos, Asians for Zohran, LGBTQ. Look around you. This is the New York of our dreams. And now, it's on us to make it real. The coalition that won the primary by turning out new voters in historic numbers, you knocked 500,000 doors in those last 11 days. We need to do that now again. To remind those voters, there's one more election on November 4th for all the marbles. So, QR code, sign up to Canvas right now, please. I'm doing it. Please join me as well. Our sages say, Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar me'od. All the world is a very narrow bridge, and the most important thing is not to be afraid. So let's canvass, let's vote, let's cross that bridge together. Let's elect Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Let's build the New York of our dreams. Thank you very much.
Keep it going for Brad Lander. Okay, guys, here's the thing. Brad Lander is really serious about canvassing. Are you? So is this the QR code? This is the QR code. Everybody take out your phone right now. Don't make me be bossy. I see one phone. Why do I see one phone? I know you all take until every single person takes out their phone, does the QR code. I don't know how to do that, but you all do. And sign up for canvassing, because how many days do we have left? Is that true? Are you going to canvass tonight after this? Right. Is everyone, I'm going to wait until you all sign up to canvass. Sing with me.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Hey guys, I wasn't finished singing, so you just silenced the female narrative at the rally. Just kidding. You guys all signed to canvass. Thank you for doing that. Keep it going for yourselves. I've got an amazing joke for you. A reverend, a rabbi, and an imam walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "What are you having?" And they say, "No Cuomo!" You guys like that. Okay. Can I get the energy back up? You guys, please give a warm, not cold, not chilly, a very warm New York welcome to Reverend Charles Galbraith, Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum, and Imam Khalid Latif.
Good evening. My name is Khalid Latif. I'm the director of the Islamic Center of New York City and a proud member of the Muslim Democratic Club of New York. We are gathered at a time when too many people in our city and in our country are being told that they don't belong, when the language of our politics too often divides rather than unites, when people are made to feel invisible, not because of what they've done, but because of who they are. Like many of you, I am here tonight not just because my brother Zohran Mamdani is running, but because of what he is running for. We are here not because it is fashionable, not because it is convenient, but simply because it is right. We are here because the moral fiber of our democracy is being tested. We are here because we refuse to allow the forces of hatred, greed, and fear to have the last word. The vitriol and bigotry that has unsurprisingly and unfortunately spewed itself from commentators, politicians, and political opportunists is the same tired Islamophobic rhetoric that has plagued our nation for decades. They invoked 9/11, recycled anti-Muslim tropes, and warned that a Muslim in a position of power poses a threat to our security and our democracy. This isn't new, but it is still very dangerous. You have to understand that Islamophobia is not just hate, it's a strategy. What we are witnessing is a deliberate attempt to marginalize and dehumanize. It is used to cast Muslims as perpetual outsiders, incapable of leadership, unworthy of trust. When Zohran succeeds and the reaction from Andrew Cuomo is to question his loyalty to America, that reveals a deeper ailment, one where identity itself becomes suspect. To be Muslim in America is to know that your belonging is always being questioned. But we are still here, and we are not going anywhere. The same forces that target Muslims are also targeting immigrants, the working class, the homeless, black and brown people of all kinds. Really, anyone who comes from underserved and underprivileged backgrounds, especially those amongst them who dare to speak truth to power. Islamophobia does not exist in a vacuum. It is entangled with white supremacy, xenophobia, and anti-black racism. To me, anti-Muslim sentiment has always been a system of anti-blackness. To those peddling hatred in our political discourse, you should know that democracy thrives not on fear, but on radical empathy. It demands we trust one another, respect our differences, and elect leaders who reflect our collective identity, not just a narrow majority. And there is no doubt that those who believe in Zohran's leadership come from all walks of life. To everyone who is not a bigot, remember that we are stronger when we include and not exclude. Zohran's victory will not just be a political milestone. It is an invitation to dream bigger, to love braver, and to live up to our city's promise. We do not need to become what they fear in order to defeat them. We simply need to keep showing up with our hearts, our feet grounded, and our collective voice strong and unwavering. This is our city too, and we all belong here. We are here to say that justice is not just a slogan, it is a struggle. That love is not just a sentiment, it is a commitment. That every human being, no matter their faith, their color, their gender, their income, or their immigration status, has infinite value and unshakable dignity. That affordability is not just about rent checks and price tags. It's about whether ordinary people can live with stability, with joy, with hope. That a democracy that allows corporate greed to dictate who gets a home, who gets health care, who gets to dream, that is a democracy on life support. We may not have all the money, but we have a movement made up of the people. And when the people move, the ground beneath injustice begins to shake. When the people move, the walls built to divide us, they crumble. When the people move, the impossible becomes inevitable. To my brother Zohran Mamdani, keep showing them who we are by showing them who you are. We are with you every step of the way, and we know that your victory will not just be yours, but ours. It will belong to every family fighting to stay in their home, every worker demanding dignity, and every young person daring to dream of a fairer world. Because when you rise, Zohran, we all rise. When you speak truth to power, you remind us that the moral arc of the universe still bends towards justice, but only when we bend it together. So let's keep bending. Let's keep building. Let's keep believing. This is our city. This is our moment. And this movement is what New York City should look like.
This is the vision of New York City that we love. A Muslim, a Jew, and a Christian stand here supporting this campaign to take our city back. My name is Sharon Kleinbaum, and I'm a rabbi here in New York City who is dedicated to the vision of transforming this city into a place in which all of us live in peace and security and can afford to live in this city. In our Jewish story read this past Shabbat of Noah after the flood, God says to all of us, I set my rainbow in the clouds as a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Now it is your turn to make sure the earth is taken care of. That rainbow was the first covenant, a promise of life and diversity, a sign that creation itself is holy in all of our colors, a sign that it is up to us to create a future free of corruption and violence, which we're told caused God to flood the earth with the Mabul, with the flood itself. Our sages then taught in Pirkei Avot, in the Mishnah, that the rainbow was one of the last things that God created, Bein Hashmashot, in the tender moment between day and night, when light and darkness touch but do not erase each other. That's the spiritual hour New York City lives in all the time, between light and shadow, wealth and poverty, despair and hope. And it is in that in-between place that holiness is born. Centuries later, two Jewish sons of immigrants, Yip Harburg and Harold Arlen, dreamed another rainbow into being. There was no rainbow in the original Wizard of Oz. In the depths of the Great Depression, they wrote somewhere over the rainbow. From a place of despair and hopelessness, we can imagine the creativity of a rainbow with color and vision and creativity. A vision not of escape, but of courage. A world in which people could live free and unafraid, where dreams and justice meet. That dream must be renewed in every generation. And we need leaders like Zohran Mamdani to help us keep imagination and creativity alive, to dream of the future and work hard to make it happen. Here in this city of mosques and churches, temples and synagogues, street corner altars, we are, each of us, called to make that rainbow real. We must make sure we are creating a city which feeds the hungry, houses the unhoused, welcomes the stranger and the immigrant, and protects every single child's right to dream. We must be the carriers of that message. We must make affordable this messy, creative city of ours. Now, I know that I don't agree with our leader, Zohran Mamdani, in everything that he says. I don't agree with anyone on everything. But we in this city must model what it looks like to hold differences, that we can debate and discuss, argue and disagree, and stay in relationship. But one thing I know for sure, that Muslims and Jews must work together for a shared future of all of us, where the humanity of Palestinians and Israelis have a future of shared security, freedom, dignity, and justice. This can only happen when we all are working together with love and respect. And on issues related to New York City, we completely agree. We dream of a city where Jews and Muslims respect and care for each other. Forcefully, as a rabbi, I reject all attacks of Islamophobia and hatred of Arabs or of Muslims. This is not my Judaism. This is not my God. Together, we must reject all these attacks of Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. We need each other. We dream of a city where God's keshet, or rainbow, bathes all of us in light and justice and in glorious tapestries of differences. And we always pray to remember that joy itself is an act of spiritual and political resistance. As a rabbi, I am grateful to Zohran for his commitment to fight anti-Semitism, for his commitment to protect all houses of worship, and to take seriously the fear that many Jewish communities live with. We dream of a future, and we make it real every day with our passionate commitment rooted in faith, relationships across all kinds of differences, and the leadership of Zohran Mamdani to take all of us and our city into a new future. Thank you.
Good evening, New York. My name is Charles Galbraith, and I serve as a pastor in Brooklyn, New York. Is Brooklyn in the house? Without a doubt. I serve a congregation that for over 103 years has welcomed immigrants into its doors and into its community. The faces and the places they have come from has changed, but we realize they are constantly and consistently looking to dream again. We recognize that many of our folks have been pushed and priced out. Healthcare costs has many people feeling helpless. For far too long, their dreams have been deferred, depressed, discounted, and just simply dissed. But I believe that there is a season coming. A season of recovery. In our text, it speaks about a brother who was a dreamer. And I believe that there is another dreamer who has a vision for New York City, who can dream and actualize our way out of food insecurity, out of housing that's unaffordable, out of constantly being underneath a crisis and intimidation to our immigrants. I believe that there is a possibility that rests within our city, and it rests within our brother Zohran Mamdani. In my sacred text, there's a story and narrative of Jesus where he sees folks who are hungry. He takes what is there, a few loaves of bread and some fish, and begins to break it and distribute it to people. It's interesting because the text says he broke it, blessed it, gave it to the folks, and everybody ate. I believe it's possible to have a city where everybody can eat. Whether you've been here for 2 years or 22 years, everybody can eat. Whether you ride the 5, the 2, the 1, or the A, everybody can eat. Whether you live in beautiful Brooklyn, the bustling Bronx, money-making Manhattan, Staten Island, or Queens, everybody can. Whether you come from here or from Haiti or from somewhere else, everybody can eat. Let's get together as one so that this entire city can be a place where everybody can.
These are not just slogans. These are commitments.
Everyone should be able to raise a family in New York.
We will deliver universal child care.
We'll make this city affordable for everyone.
Change is coming. New Yorkers deserve a city they can afford.
We're gonna deliver.
It's government's job to make your life better.
That's exactly what we are going to do.
It's Zohran's agenda.
It's New York's agenda.
It's our agenda.
It's my agenda.
All of these concepts are just ideas in the clouds if we do not elect Zohran Mamdani.
Join me in welcoming the leaders who will help us bring this home.
Governor Kathy Hochul, State Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, and Assembly Speaker Carl Hastings.
Please give a warm welcome to our greatest allies in Albany, partners in delivering our affordability agenda, Speaker of the New York State Assembly, Carl Hastie, Leader of the New York State Senate, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, and Governor Kathy Hochul.
Here we are, everyone. It is great to see everyone. Tonight, we are here for one reason. Are you with me? Do you want to elect Zohran Mamdani as the next mayor of New York? Well, then I'm in the right place. Because in so doing, electing him as our 111th mayor, we will change the course of history. And it needs to be changed. Because right now, and I don't mean to take you all down to a dark place, because this has been a really uplifting experience. But right now, our city and our state and our country are under attack by Donald Trump and the Republicans in Washington. I mean, they're literally not just taking a wrecking ball to the White House, they're taking a wrecking ball to our very values, our people, and our progress. Get this. Donald Trump literally said, the shutdown is about killing democratic priorities. Now, what are those priorities? No, this gets bad. Killing food assistance for babies. Yeah, it really sucks. Killing money for seniors to pay their utility bills. Killing health care for New Yorkers already struggling to take care of their own lives. I mean, it even meant killing Planned Parenthood until we came in with money to keep it alive. Because they don't give a damn about women and their health care and their rights to an abortion. They're also killing major infrastructure projects, putting tens of thousands of hard-working union members out of work. Oh, friends, it gets worse. What about the ICE agents flooding our streets as we speak? Canal Street, Queens, the Bronx, they're everywhere, and they're terrorizing innocent people. And we have had enough. Now Donald Trump says, oh, we're going after the worst of the worst, the baddest of the bad. They're splitting up families. And let me tell you this actually happened. They took away mothers of babies who were nursing them and separated them. This is how cruel they are. Okay, how do you top that? Now, no, it continues. It's going to continue. It's all bad. Now, they're going after our Attorney General, Tish James. They go after Tish James, they can come after any of us. But here's what they did not count on. Here's what they did not count on. They always forget this about us. When we get punched, we fight back, and we fight back hard. We don't just fight, we win. Because time and time again, New Yorkers have been knocked down, and we get up stronger, louder, and more resilient than ever before. So I'll be fighting every day with my partners on the same side, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, and our Speaker, Carl Hastie. Give them a round of applause. But you know what? But we need something. Here's what we need. Oh, you're fired up. You're fired up. But the three of us can't do it alone. We need a fighter in City Hall who wakes up every day ready to punch and fight for the working people of the city, and that person is Zohran Mamdani. And this is because Trump's America runs on fear and cruelty and division. But New York, we run on hope and compassion and optimism that never leaves us. So I say we are the state that does not back down, and I'm going to be working closely with Mayor Zohran Mamdani. But you know what? Well, you know what I admire about him so much? No, think about this. Zohran Mamdani. But you know what you should take inspiration from? Think about the fact that every single time people have forced him to endure hatred and threats, trying to use his faith or his name as a weapon, you know what he's done? He doesn't get out in the gutter with everybody else. He rises up with grace and courage and grit. That's the kind of leader we need. That's what we need. Because that Islamophobia and bigotry and hate-filled speech, that kind of bullshit doesn't belong in New York. And I see in him someone who sees a New York that is affordable because we want to live here. We want families to grow here. We want them to prosper. So we need more housing. But you know what? Here's something I can tell you about personally. New York's first mom governor, we need more child care. And it has to be universal. Child care for everyone who wants it. So here's what we're going to do. Well, this crowd is fired up. All right. I can hear you. I can hear you. But here's, my friends, you want to see Zohran or not? Okay. All right. Listen, I got one plea for you. I love to see this energy and this passion. And for those of you who've not been involved in the voting or even campaigns before, I am so excited about what is going on here. But I need you to do something. All right, one more thing, my friend. This is about this November's election, but take that energy, that passion, and take it into 26 so that we can take back the House of Representatives, take the Senate, and take back our country. With your help, we will. Elect Zohran, and we take back America. Thank you, Queens. Thank you, New York. I love you guys.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Carl Hasty, New York State Speaker of the Assembly, and I have personally witnessed the profound impact that government can have on the lives of everyday citizens, particularly here in New York. And I come to you today not only as the first black speaker in the history of this state, but someone who calls this great city to home, namely the Boogie Down Bronx. That's why I'm proud to support my colleague and my good friend Zohran Mamdani to be the next mayor of the city of New York. We are living in an era where it's just too tough, where actions speak louder than words. Change makers are taking center stage, determined to bring about necessary transformations that will improve our communities. I need y'all to repeat after me. We deserve an affordable city. We deserve affordable city. We deserve an affordable city. We deserve an affordable city. All right. And as a supporter of Zohran, a candidate whose name has become synonymous with the fight for affordability in a city plagued by high inflation, I am deeply committed to this cause, and I stand behind him today. It's a cause that every single one of us has had to grapple with as we walk the aisles of the grocery store, as families seeking adequate care for their children. In a city not only run by coffee, but a reliable and accessible public transportation system, we've witnessed the stark reality of how many New Yorkers rely on these services with simultaneously struggling to afford these fares. During Zohran's 10 years assembly, I hear you guys, I've collaborated closely with him to prioritize the needs of everyday New Yorkers. Together, alongside the Assembly majority, we spearheaded initiatives to pilot a free bus route in every borough, providing a lifeline for families as they juggle their daily responsibilities. With Zohran as mayor, there's no imagining what we can do together. Now, I need y'all to listen to me again. So everybody, Zohran for mayor, Zohran for mayor, Zohran for mayor, Zohran for mayor. Now, under the leadership of Zohran, he will be the fighter we need in City Hall, a beacon of change for communities that have felt unheard for far too long. Affordability will be at the forefront of his agenda, and we can all stand together and witness leadership in action as we work towards an even better and brighter future for our beloved city. And don't forget, as we head to the polls, just remember, Zohran for mayor.
Good evening, New York. I love what I'm feeling here. We're going to win this, right? So, we all hear you. Here's what I want to say. I want to say that I remember living in New York City in the housing projects, Amsterdam and then Parkside. I remember having a child and needing daycare. I remember making $7,900 a year, and they told me that I was making too much. It was the first time that I had the opportunity, because I was young, 20-something, that I stood outside in front of City Hall with so many people just like me, begging the government to understand that I needed to work to support my child with dignity and to have child care. They didn't hear me. Fortunately, my mother stepped in, so I was able to continue work. This is a story that in 2025 still exists. It is a story of unaffordability for the things that we need every single day. However, we have Zohran. Not only is he about affordability, but you heard the governor, you heard the speaker, and you heard from me. And just as the speaker is a historic figure in the assembly, the governor, the first woman to ever hold a position, and I am the first woman to ever lead a conference in the history of New York State. I bring my experiences with me to the table. And I tell you my experiences so you know that I get it. He gets it. The governor gets it. And I also talk about the history because you are looking at history. Things that people said could never be done. People could never have these seats. They could never, ever sit at the table and make policy decisions. That's what they would have us believe. And yet, because you vote, we change history. We change lives. We make things happen. It's in your hands. You have the power. And one of the things that I was telling Zohran's campaign manager, Maya, you should give her a round of applause. Look where we are. Look where we are. Is that the first time I ran for Senate, I lost by 18 votes. 18 votes. In the longest race in history, they told me in February the next year that I lost by 18 votes. And look what happened. But I don't want you to, I want you to learn from what happened to me. You get out there. Do not rest. Do not stop. Knock on every door. You saw the QR code. Canvass, knock, and get people out there to vote because we don't have another chance. We can't miss this chance. And, you know, I'm just up north a little bit in Yonkers, but in Westchester, I always tell folks, is Westchester in the house? Come on, Westchester. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But what I always say up there is when Democrats vote, Democrats win. So here's what, but you know what, I'm going to be collective because I know there's a lot of people here. A lot of people want change. So what I'm going to tell you to repeat after me is when we vote, we win. When we vote, when we vote, let's go win. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Hochul, Speaker Hasty, and Leader Stewart Cousins. Tax the rich. Tax the... Oh, it's cool. You know, if you think about it, they were all former coworkers with Cuomo in Albany. And think about how bad you have to be at your job if all of your former coworkers get together to complain about how bad you were at your job on stage in a stadium full of people. You guys have been amazing tonight. You're never going to see me again after this, so please get... Oh, I know, it really stinks. But our headliners are coming on soon, but before they do, is everyone scanning the QR code to sign up to Canvas? Okay, on the count of 3. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you're going to say, Sarah, I promise I will canvas and I will talk to my weird parents and my neighbors to get Zohran elected. Okay, you remember all that? 1, 2, 3. You sort of got it. Give it up for yourselves. You guys are amazing. Thanks for coming out tonight. We have some amazing headliners, and there's 9 days left to go. Do everything you can to make sure we elect Zohran Mamdani with a mandate to make New York City more affordable for all of us. And please give a warm welcome to the Resistance Revival Chorus.
Hello, everybody. We're here to sing. We are the Resistance Revival Chorus! We got a lot of friends with us on stage tonight. Oh, there they go. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Oh, which side are you on? You know this song. Which side are you on? Which side are you singing it together? Which side are you on? Oh, which side are
Bernie. Senator.
Zohran, how are you?
You know, Bernie, this means so much to me because we are sitting here in one of my favorite restaurants in the heart of my district as an assembly member. My journey in running for office in the first place, the first event that we had, it was to your Queensbridge rally.
When Bernie walked out to Back in Black by AC/DC, we felt as if possibility was a fact of life.
But it takes courage, New York, because we are up against the Goliaths.
Because the oligarchs own it all. And what we are here tonight to say is to hell with you, we're going to defeat you.
And we can tell Andrew Cuomo that New York City is not for sale.
And I think a lot about what has happened leading up to this political moment.
The only reason that I had any hope in launching a long-shot campaign for Congress is because Bernie Sanders proved that you can run a grassroots campaign and win in an America where we almost thought it was impossible.
And what an honor it is to look out onto this crowd and to see the city I love. At New Yorkers who, amidst this despair, have continued to believe in a world better than this.
And I will tell you, New York City, if we can change the page in the biggest and best city in the United States of America, we can change the page in our country too.
With every block walked, you have refused to normalize a politics of cruelty, of greed, of exploitation.
I want you all to take a look around and find someone you don't know. Maybe somebody who doesn't look kind of like you. Maybe somebody who might be of a different religion than you. Maybe they come from a different country. My question now to you is, are you willing to fight for that person as much as you're willing to fight for yourself? Nobody is an island into himself or herself, right? We all got it from somebody else, and I got it from other people, and they got it from somebody else. And the fight for justice has gone on for a few thousand years.
Bernie said something to me that we are all in this struggle because someone brought it to us. But he also said, not me, us.
Good to be home. And it is especially great to be gathering with you all tonight in Queens, New York, the world's borough, the jewel of America. Just in this slice of New York City alone, we represent over 100 languages and cultures.
We welcome people of all religions, faiths, and creeds. We honor all genders, races, orientations, and status. And here, we defend immigrants. We are a working people's borough in a working people's city. And all of that makes us a fascist's worst nightmare. Queens, we gather here today at both a perilous moment for our country and on the precipice of hope for our city.
because in 9 short days, we will work our hearts out to elect Zohran Mamdani as the next mayor of the great city of New York. And it is going to take all of us. But to be honest, it always has. That we are all here in this moment, during this time, is not a coincidence. And it is also not a coincidence that the very forces that Zohran is up against in this race mirrors what we are up against nationally. Both an authoritarian, criminal presidency fueled by corruption and bigotry, and an ascendant right-wing extremist movement. And an insufficient, eroded, bygone political establishment, this time in the form of Andrew Cuomo, whose pursuit of power has blinded them from what that power is supposed to be used for in the first place, which is to aid and put the working people of America and New York City first. And Queens, both of these challenges are fueled and funded by the same billionaire class whose apparent greatest fear is an equitable, affordable, and prosperous nation and city for all, not just the very few. But we have been here before as a city and a country, and we have won before, and we will win again on November 4th. Because Queens, it has always been in our nation's darkest chapters that our brightest lights emerge. And we, each and every one of us, whether we like it or not, are living history today. From our nation's beginning, American democracy has always reflected the struggle between humanity's highest and lowest natures, between subjects and citizens, the Confederacy and the Union, freedom and bondage, labor and capital rights and regimes. And it is no different today. The struggle of our time today is the single most unjust concentration of wealth in the hands of the very few, unseen in our nation's history and the world's history. And it is a time such as this, in which demanding what should be considered the most basic tenets of human dignity, that is considered a radical and outlandish act. It is a time such as today, when demanding affordable housing is considered a radical and outlandish act, that we can afford our lives, our groceries, our transit, is considered an outlandish and radical act, that we accept our neighbor as ourselves, a radical and outlandish act. But we must remember, in a time such as this, we are not the crazy ones, New York City. We are not the outlandish ones, New York City. They want us to think we are crazy. We are sane. To demand an affordable and decent housing, a decent wage, the right to health care, that we pay to care for our people instead of the flattening of Palestinians and oppressed people abroad is not a radical act. It is basic and core humanity. That is why the election of Zohran is as important as our cause today. Childcare, buses, rent, and our rights. Here in New York City, it is the jewel
and the center of all that is possible in America. And on November 4th, we will prove that today. We will prove it to the world, and we will prove it to the nation. And we will send a loud message to President Donald Trump that his authoritarianism is no good here. We will send a message that to ICE, that secret police do not belong here. And we will demonstrate the heroism that exists in the everyday people throughout our city. Heroism like that we saw last week, a young woman in a polka dot dress standing up to a secret police officer in Canal Street. She is New York City. The young man in a white helmet jumping off his bicycle saying, "Not in my neighborhood," that is New York City. The line cooks and the delivery workers every day serving and making sure that we are clothed and fed and that our children are cared for. That is America, New York City. That is who we fight for. That is what this victory is about. Because New York, America, our freedoms and our future. When I think about what is happening throughout our nation today, and what Donald Trump has even done, reflected, symbolic of so much in his demolition of the White House and the East Wing. We see what he's doing to that, and we must let him know that this injustice, no matter what he's doing, that house doesn't belong to him, New York. It belongs to us. It belongs to the people of this country. And I want us all to remember and to know that the future, our future, is not determined by a despot in a house built by enslaved people. Our future will be determined not in a house built by slaves, but in a city built by freemen, in a city built by unionists and immigrants and suffragists. The bricks laid by working people, past, present, and future, the seamstresses and the unionists who paid for our rights in blood. This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country, in a vision to build the freest, toughest, and greatest city on earth, and we will not stop now, New York. It is no surprise. NYC, baby, NYC. It is no surprise to me, New York, that it is New York and that it is our great city, that we, our city, have chosen to adorn ourselves with the nation's greatest monument to freedom, the Statue of Liberty. And she reminds us every day that the central commitment of America is an unconditional freedom, precisely of the kind that cannot be bought, that is available to the huddled masses yearning to be free. This is America, New York City. Don't let them tell you any different. Don't let them tell you that we are the exception. We are the rule. We are the standard. We are the acceptance. And we set the bar for America. I'm talking to you, Donald Trump. There has been a day before his presidency, and there will be a day after. And and it belongs to us. Thank you, New York. I love you, New York. You have made my life possible, my mother's life possible, my father's life possible. All of our lives have been made possible by this great city and by our shared contract and bond to one another. And it is my honor tonight to introduce to you all another great born New Yorker. From Brooklyn. Senator Sanders and I recently came in. We were in Indiana last night. We both paid a visit to the home of the great Eugene Debs. And I had the honor of presenting Senator Sanders last night with the National Eugene Debs Award,
in which the foundation and the people who steward Debs's legacy have honored Senator Sanders as the foremost leader and advocate for labor and class struggle in the United States of America. And it remains such a great privilege and honor to call him a friend, a mentor, a treasured person that we have, and a New Yorker, that's right. And so I know we all love him so dearly. And so let's make sure that we give him the biggest rousing welcome that he receives this year in introducing Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you, New York! Whoa! And let me thank the people of New York for sending Alexandria to the U.S. Congress. She is not only one of the great members of Congress, she is inspiring working people and young people all across the country. Thank you, New York. Now, everybody knows that a New York City mayor's race attracts a lot of attention. That's not new. It's the largest city in the country. You got 8 million people. Everybody is interested in what happens here. But this mayor's race, my friends, is different. It is not just the folks here in New York City who are paying attention. It's not just people all across our country who are watching this race. It is not just the President of the United States who seems to be very, very concerned about who wins this election. The truth is that people all over the world are paying attention to what will happen here a week from Tuesday. Now, why is that?
Why has this campaign created such an unbelievable amount of interest, literally all over the world? And the answer is obvious. These are not normal times. This is not a normal election. This election takes place at a moment in American history when we have a rigged economy with more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had in the history of our country. This election takes place at a time when the wealthiest people in America have never, ever had it so good, while 60% of people in our country are living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay their rent or mortgage, struggling to afford child care or higher education for their kids, struggling to afford health care, struggling to afford decent quality food, struggling how to figure out how they will retire with some shred of dignity after working their entire lives. This election takes place when the United States of America, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, has one of the highest rates of childhood poverty and senior poverty of almost any nation. And when in this rich country, 800,000 Americans, including many veterans, are homeless. This election takes place at a time when we have a president who has given $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1%, has given $900 billion in tax breaks to the largest corporations in our country. And to pay for those tax breaks, he is throwing 15 million Americans off the health care they have by slashing Medicaid. And in addition, he is forcing over 20 million Americans to see a doubling in their health care premiums. This election is taking place when we have an administration in Washington which every day is moving us toward an authoritarian society, undermining our Constitution and the rule of law. This election is taking place when we have a corrupt campaign finance system which allows billionaires in both political parties to select the candidates they want and to buy elections. Ordinary Americans get one vote. You get one vote. Meanwhile, billionaires get the opportunity to spend as much as they want to elect the candidates they want. That is the context in which this election is taking place. That is why this election is so enormously important, and that is why Zohran Mamdani must become the next mayor of New York. New York must have a mayor who represents the working families of this city, not the billionaire class. The reason why this campaign has generated so much interest around the world and so much excitement is that people want to know the answer to one very simple question, and that is, in the year 2025, when the people on top have never ever had so much economic and political power, is it possible for ordinary people, for working class people,
to come together and defeat those oligarchs? You're damn right we can.
And let me tell you something else. At a moment when Americans are extremely distressed about where we are as a nation, economically and politically, a victory here in New York will give hope and inspiration to people throughout our country and throughout the world. That is what this election is about. And that is why Donald Trump is paying attention to this election. Ordinary people, working class people, black and white and Latino, Asian, gay and straight, coming together to take on the oligarchy. That is Trump's worst nightmare. And what Trump and his oligarchic friends know, that if New Yorkers come together and elect Zohran, we can do that from California to Maine. We can defeat the oligarchy. And what the oligarchs fear, what they fear is that people will start understanding that this country belongs to us, not them. And all over the country, when people are inspired, when people are standing up to power, they will ask some very simple questions. Why are we in the United States the only major country not to guarantee health care to all as a human right?
Why aren't we paying our teachers the salaries they deserve?
So that we can have the best public educational system in the world. Why aren't we doing what used to exist in New York and all over this country 70 years ago, make public colleges and universities tuition free? Why in the richest country on earth aren't we ending homelessness and building 5 million units of low-income and affordable housing? Why don't we make it easier for workers to join unions? And why don't we raise the national minimum wage to a living wage? And when so many of our seniors are struggling to cover their basic needs, some 22% of seniors in America are trying to survive on $15,000 a year less. Why aren't we raising Social Security benefits and providing pensions to the workers in this country who desperately need them? And why don't we have a foreign policy which does not spend billions of dollars on a Netanyahu government starving children in Gaza? In other words, In other words, my friends, a victory for Zohran will help Americans understand that in the richest country in the history of the world, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Now, the oligarchs and the political establishment in New York tell us that Zohran's agenda for New York is radical. Really? At a time when working families in this city are finding it hard to live here because of the outrageously high cost of housing, I don't think it's radical to say that the city should freeze the rent and triple its stock of affordable housing. That ain't radical. At a time when working families can't afford the high cost of childcare, and psychologists tell us the most important years of human development, intellectual and emotional, are 0 through 4, why shouldn't we have a situation where every child in America gets the best quality child care we can provide? That ain't radical. Taking care of our kids is not radical. At a time when getting to work is too expensive and we want to encourage more utilization of public transportation, it is not a radical idea to say that buses in this city should be free and fast. At a time when every parent wants their kids eating good quality food, not junk food, and there are neighborhoods in the city where it is simply not affordable or possible to get that food, it is not a radical idea to say that there should be municipally funded grocery stores. And by the way, when billionaires and large corporations and the very wealthy are doing extraordinarily well, when the very richest people in this country often pay an effective tax rate lower than truck drivers or nurses, it is not a radical idea to say that the rich should start paying their fair share of taxes. Brothers and sisters, these ideas are not radical. They are common sense, and they are what the people of New York City want and need. Now, let me be very clear. As someone who served as mayor of Burlington, Vermont for 8 years, a city just a little bit smaller than New York, I can tell you absolutely that being mayor is not an easy job. In local government, the people hold you accountable for everything, for picking up the trash, for crime problems, for the quality of education their kids receive, for traffic jams. Blame the mayor. And that's what mayors have to deal with. And it is not easy. Zohran Mamdani as mayor is not going to have all the answers. The problems facing this country and every other major city in America are in fact enormous. So let me say this to you from the bottom of my heart. When he is elected, your job is not over. Zohran is going to need your help every single day. In this unprecedented moment in our nation's history, all of us together must act in an unprecedented way. And that means governing New York City and other cities in an unprecedented way. Please do everything you can to work with Zohran in order to make him and his administration the best administration in the history of New York. Let me conclude by saying this, and I say this again as somebody who became mayor of Burlington, Vermont in 1981 by winning that election by 10 votes after a recount. Now, I have looked at the polls here in New York. You have seen it. And the polls suggest that Zohran is in the lead, and that is great. But please, 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 do not underestimate our opponents. They have a huge amount of money, and they are spending it right now. So I urge you, forget about the polls. Go into the last 8 days of this election assuming that you are 5 points behind. So what you guys are going to have to do, along with the other 80,000 volunteers in the Mamdani campaign, you've got to do everything that you can to bring people to the polls in early voting, which is taking place right now, and on Election Day. None of us want to wake up the day after the election and find that
We lost that election because our opponents outworked us. That must not happen. Brothers and sisters, a year ago, very few people in New York knew about a 33-year-old assemblyman named Zohran Mamdani. And when he first entered this race for mayor, he was polling at all of 1%. Nobody knew who this guy was. But Zohran did what people who are serious about real change always do. He created a campaign from the bottom on up by building an extraordinary and unprecedented grassroots movement which now has tens of thousands of volunteers. Unlike his opponents, he didn't go running to the billionaires for campaign contributions. He went to the people with an agenda that made sense to them. And despite being outspent 4-1, Zohran won the primary. And brothers and sisters, with your help over the next 8 days, this young man is going to make American history. It is my honor to introduce the next mayor of the city of New York, Zohran Mamdani.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, New York City! How are we all doing? Habibi, how are you? It is so good to see you all here tonight. Now, as you know, a politician is only as good as the team around them. So I have to ask that team to start up this teleprompter. Because right now, it's off the top of the dome. And while we wait, why don't we actually begin? Can we first hear a round of applause for our incredible MC, Sarah Sherman? Can we hear it for the elected officials, the labor leaders, and the New Yorkers who have joined us this evening? And can we hear it for Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Yeah, we're good. You know, there are many things one can say about our Congresswoman, but I want to tell you a story about 2021. When we went on a 15-day hunger strike and won $450 million in debt relief for working-class taxi drivers, the Congresswoman was there with us on that picket line. She was there with us on the phone after everyone else had gone home. And she was there with us again in the primary of this election. And that's because she's there for working people. And now we are just getting started. And let's please make some noise for Senator Bernie Sanders. I stand before you tonight only because the senator dared to stand alone for so long. I speak the language of democratic socialism only because he spoke it first. And when I ran for state assembly almost 6 years ago to the day, it was at Bernie's rally in Queensbridge Park where I led our first canvass. Signing people up for our email lists, asking them for $5 or $10, and encouraging them to believe that the politics of not me, us applied to our state government just as much as our national one. When we win on November 4th, and then govern from City Hall with dignity as the foundation of our politics, it will be because of the movement that Bernie built. I stand before you tonight as the nominee of a Democratic Party reinvigorated in its pursuit of making government work for everyone, not just the wealthy and the well-connected. Looking out at more than 13,000 of you here in Forest Hill Stadium,
It is tempting to believe that this moment was always destined. Yet when we launched this campaign on October 23rd, 1 year and 3 days ago, there was not a single television camera there to cover it. When we launched this campaign 1 year and 3 days ago, my name was a statistical anomaly in every poll. 4 months later, as recently as this February, our support had reached the eye-watering heights of 1%. We were tied with noted candidate, someone else. I always knew we could beat him. When we launched this campaign 1 year and 3 days ago, the political world did not pay it much attention because we were looking to build a movement that reflected the city as it actually is, not just the one that political consultants think exists on a spreadsheet. And when we launched this campaign 1 year and 3 days ago, we were dismissed as a punchline in the halls of power. The idea of fundamentally changing who government serves in this city was unimaginable. Even if we gained momentum, they asked, how would we ever overcome the tens of millions of dollars in attacks that would follow? Yet we knew then what we know now. New York is not for sale. As young people showed up in record numbers, as immigrants saw themselves in the politics of their city, as seniors, once skeptical, dared to dream again, we spoke with one voice. New York is not for sale. And now, as we stand on the precipice of taking this city back from corrupt politicians and the billionaires that fund them, let our words ring out so loud tonight that Andrew Cuomo can hear them in his $8,000 a month apartment. Let them ring so loud so that he can hear us even if he's in Westchester this evening. Let them ring so loud that his puppet master in the White House hears us. New York is not for sale. "13 days after we announced our candidacy, Donald Trump won the presidency once again. The Bronx and Queens saw some of the largest shifts to the right of any counties in our country. No matter what article you read or channel you turned to, the stories seemed to be the same. Our city was headed to the right. Obituaries were written about Democrats' abilities to reach Asian voters, young voters, male voters. Again and again, we were told that if we had any hope of beating the Republican Party, it would only be by becoming the Republican Party. Andrew Cuomo himself said that we had lost not because we had failed to speak to the needs of working class Americans, but because we had spent too much time talking about bathrooms and sports teams. This was a moment where it seemed our political horizon was narrowing. And in this moment, New York, you had a choice to retreat or to fight. And the choice that we made was to stop listening to those experts and to start listening to you. We went to two of the places that saw the biggest swings to the right, Fordham Road and Hillside Avenue. These New Yorkers were far from the caricature of Trump voters. They told us They supported Donald Trump because they felt disconnected from a Democratic Party that had grown comfortable with mediocrity and gave its time only to those who gave millions. They told us that they felt abandoned by a party beholden to corporations, which asked them for their votes after telling them only what it was against, rather than presenting a vision of what it was for. They told us they didn't believe in a system anymore that did not even pretend to offer solutions to the defining challenge of their lives, the cost of living crisis. Rent was too expensive. So were groceries. So was childcare. So was taking the bus, and working 2 or 3 jobs still wasn't enough. Trump, for all his many flaws, had promised them an agenda that would put more money in their pockets and lower the cost of living. Donald Trump lied. It was up to us to deliver for the working people he left behind. Over the 8 months of the primary, we told New Yorkers how we intended to address that very same affordability crisis. We did not do it alone. This was a movement powered by tens of thousands of everyday New Yorkers who knocked doors between 12-hour shifts at work and phone banked until their fingers were numb. People who had never voted before became die-hard canvassers. Community formed. Our city got to know each other and itself. This, my friends, was your movement. And it always will be. As the snow melted and the frost thawed, this campaign began to grow faster than anyone ever imagined possible. So many small donors chipped in that we had to ask you to stop donating. Please stop. We climbed the polls faster than Andrew Cuomo could dial Donald Trump's number. People started to learn how to pronounce my name. And the billionaires got scared. Or, as the New York Times would describe it, the Hamptons was basically in group therapy about the mayoral race. Andrew Cuomo and his corporate cronies did everything they could to make this campaign one of fear and one of smallness. Hell yeah. Obviously. They pumped millions into this race, artificially lengthened my beard to make me seem menacing, painted our city as a dystopian hellhole, and worked night and day to divide the people of New York. They failed. When I walked the length of Manhattan just a few days before the election, hundreds of New Yorkers marched alongside me. And when we strode into Times Square under a billboard with betting odds that showed Cuomo's chances of winning at nearly 80%, we knew that the so-called experts were set to get it wrong yet again. Andrew Cuomo was supposed to be inevitable. And then on June 24th, we shattered that inevitability. We won by 13%, with the most votes in any citywide primary in New York City history. Some of those New Yorkers had voted for Trump. Many others had never voted before. And when Andrew Cuomo called me to concede at 10:15 that night, he said over the phone that we had created a tremendous force. When you insist on building a coalition with room for every New Yorker, that is exactly what you create, a tremendous force. That force has only grown over these past 4 months. We now have more than 90,000 volunteers. And we have spoken to millions more New Yorkers. We have put forth new plans in these last few months for how we will govern, hiring thousands more teachers for our schools, taking on the consultants and the contracts in city government, and tackling the final boss of New York City infrastructure, scaffolding. But over the past few weeks, as this race has entered its final days, we have witnessed displays of Islamophobia that shock the conscience. Andrew Cuomo, Eric Adams, and Curtis Sliwa do not have an agenda for the future. All they possess is the playbook of the past. They have sought to make this election a referendum not on the affordability crisis that consumes New Yorkers' lives, but on the faith I belong to and the hatred they seek to normalize. We spent months working to convince the world that New Yorkers have a right to afford this city that we all love. Now, we are being forced to defend the idea that a Muslim is even allowed to lead it. These same big money donors and disgraced politicians have sought to rob us of our ambition because they do not think that you deserve the beauty of a dignified life. And time and again they have encouraged you to imagine less because they know that a reimagined New York hurts their bottom line. I believe that this city is like the universe, constantly expanding. We deserve a city government as ambitious as the working New Yorkers who make it the greatest city in the world. We cannot wait for someone else to deliver it. We are not afforded the luxury of waiting, because too often to wait is to trust those who delivered us to this point. On November 4th, we will set the course of our city back in the direction it belongs. And in doing so, we will answer a question that our nation has wrestled with from the dawn of our founding. Who is allowed to be free? There are some who hear that question and they know the answer without hesitation. They are the oligarchs who have accumulated vast wealth off those who labor from before the light breaks the horizon until long after color has drained from the sky. These are the robber barons of America, and they believe their money affords them a larger say than the rest of us. I am not just talking about the Bill Ackmans and Ken Langones of the world. I speak of people whose names you are not familiar with, who have no qualms about contributing more to super PACs than we would ever tax them, and who celebrate when those PACs flood our airwaves with commercials that plaster the words "global jihad" over my face. Their freedom doesn't just come at the expense of dignity and truth. It comes at the expense of the freedoms of others too. They are the authoritarians who seek to keep us pressed beneath their thumbs because they know that once we shake ourselves loose, we will never, be held down again. Each and every one of these people think New York is for sale. For too long, my friends, freedom has belonged only to those who can afford to buy it. The oligarchs of New York are the wealthiest people in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. They do not want the equation to change. They will do everything they can to prevent their grip from weakening. The truth is as simple as it is non-negotiable. We are all allowed freedom. Each one of us, the working people of this city, the taxi drivers, the line cooks, the nurses, all those seeking lives of grace, not greed, we all get to be free. And on November 4th, thanks to the hard work of more than 90,000 volunteers across every corner of this city, that is exactly what we will tell the world. Because while Donald Trump's billionaire donors think that they have the money to buy this election, we have a movement of the masses. And we are a movement that is not afraid of what we believe. And we've believed it for quite some time. Those who worry about what this movement may look like on January 1st are the ones who worried on October 23rd what it may look like tonight. But our purpose has not changed, and neither have our promises. As I said on the evening I announced, the job of government is to actually make our lives better. And in the exact words I said on October 23rd, here is what we stand for, my friends. We are going to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants and use every resource at our disposal to build housing for everyone who needs it. We are going to eliminate the fare on every single bus line and make what are currently the slowest buses in the nation move around this city with ease. And we are going to create universal child care at no cost to parents, so New Yorkers can raise their family in the city they love. Together, New York, we're going to freeze the... Together, New York, we're going to make buses fast and... Together, New York, we're going to deliver universal... We will make our city one where every person who calls it home can live a dignified life. No New Yorker should ever be priced out of anything they need to survive. And we believe then, we believe today, we will believe tomorrow that it is government's job to deliver that dignity. Dignity, my friends, is another way of saying freedom. Standing before you this evening, I take great strength from those who have labored mightily for the cause of freedom in America, who refused to accept that government could not meet what moments of crisis demanded from it. When the power of the people overwhelms the influence of the powerful, there is no crisis that government cannot meet. It was government that enacted a New Deal to lift a generation out of poverty, to create beautiful public goods and establish the right to unionize and collectively bargain. My friends, the era of government that deems an issue too small or a crisis too big must come to an end. Because we need a government that is every bit as ambitious as our adversaries. A government strong enough to refuse the realities we will not accept and forge the future we know we deserve. A government that refuses to accept 1 in 4 New Yorkers living in poverty. That refuses to accept more than 150,000 public school students being homeless. That refuses to accept that 2 union salaries are not enough to put down a mortgage in this city. And a government that refuses to accept you being priced out of the very city you helped to build every single day. Time and again, our nation has teetered on the precipice of hopelessness. Now is one of those times. But in each of these moments, working people have reached into the darkness and reshaped our democracy. No longer will we allow the Republican Party to be the one of ambition. No longer will we have to open a history book to read about Democrats leading with big ideas. My friends, the world is changing. It's not a question of whether that change will come. It's a question of who will change it. We have an opportunity before us that few have ever received and even fewer have seized. It's the opportunity to show the world what it means to win freedom. It is the opportunity to live up to the legacy left by those who came before. We do not get to determine the scale of a crisis. Our choice is how we respond. Let us win a city hall that works for those straining to buy groceries, not those straining to buy our democracy. And let us look forward to January 1st, when the hard work of governing will begin. Those in power would like to describe our policy commitments as if they are illusions that will evaporate as soon as we approach City Hall. Let us show them instead that they are invocations of the future that we will win. And let us prove to each and every New Yorker that a politics of expansion does not just mean imagination. It insists upon fulfillment. We can make City Hall a place where New Yorkers come to expect the future, not just failure. But we are not there yet. Just as Andrew Cuomo's victory in the primary was thought to be inevitable, the same narrative has started to form around us today. When you read the articles that tell a post-election story of triumph while we are amidst early voting, when you see the Kalshi odds that have our chances of victory in the 90s, know this: you are reading the same things that Andrew Cuomo read when he went to sleep each night in June, believing that his victory was promised. We cannot allow complacency to infiltrate this movement. So over these 9 final days, I ask for only one thing from each of you: more. I know you are tired. And for that, I recommend some Adani chai. And still, I ask for more. I know the attacks have intensified, that a warm bed is more inviting than a sixth-floor walk-up, that another evening spent knocking doors after a long workday feels daunting. And still, I ask for more. I ask for more because that is the only way that we win a future of more. So if you are able, I urge you, my friends, stand up. If you have knocked a door, turn your flashlight on. If you will knock a door, turn your flashlight on. If you have more to give, turn your flashlight on. Together, let us make a light bright enough to banish any darkness. Over these final 9 days and the months and years that follow, the powers that be will throw everything in their arsenal against us. They will spend millions more dollars. They will attack us from every conceivable angle. But we will not bend. We will not flinch. We will triumph over the oligarchs, and we will return dignity to our lives. Nearly 89 years ago to the day, FDR spoke before a crowd of thousands at Madison Square Garden. He said, "I should like to have it said of my first administration that in it the forces of selfishness and of lust for power met their match. I should like to have it said of my second administration that in it these forces met their master. My friends, I should like to have it said of our campaign that in it the forces of selfishness and lust for power met their match. And I should like to have it said of our City Hall that in it these forces met their master. New York, our work has only just begun. On November 4th, we set ourselves free. Thank you.
Walking